Hello, gentle viewers. This is Abindi, and welcoming you to Out of the Park Baseball 22 with the Pittsburgh Pirates. A brief but highly welcome programming note. I happened to take a look at the OOTP forums today. It's Thursday, the day before I post this, and they say they fixed the immune promotion bug. So this weekend, I'm going to try to do a new episode of the Tour Through History. And if it works, we'll be back live with a new episode of that on Monday. So I'll try to remember to post something either on Twitter or here on the channel to let you know if that succeeded or not. This particular episode is going to be an off-season episode, as you can tell by the fact that off-season starts here. And so we're going to want to dive right in and start thinking about how we can make this team better and maybe, just maybe, make an ever so slight nudgy nudge toward playoff contention. And we're not that far away. I know 15 games seems like a big deal, and it is a big deal. But if we spend intelligently, because we do have a bit of money burning a hole in our pockets now. We've got about $7 million. That's not going to cut it. Where did my money go? Oh, right, because free agency hasn't officially happened yet. It still lists... Yeah. That's fine. We'll have to deal with arbitration for a few people, too. So, it is whatever. What do we do? So in terms of obvious weaknesses, we could use a new right fielder. We could use potentially a new first baseman, maybe. You are not a great shortstop. I'm going to be honest with you. By the way, OTP, please include these tool tips, because I can never remember what they're... I think it's supposed to be routine. It's supposed to be routine, likely, even, unlikely, like extreme, and then impossible. Now, part of the issue may be the reason he even looks adequate is that Alameus is covering his butt. Because Alameus had a pretty incredible year. Like, even some of the... Like, he made quite a few extreme plays at second base. And if we check his zone rating, it was actually... He was worth basically 2 wins just on his glove alone. His bat wasn't worth very much, but he might have been papering over Peguero. Peguero is way too live a bat at this point. He had a very decent rookie year, and I could move him to second. I could push him to first. I don't know what to do with him yet. I know I don't want to give up on him, though. So we're actually going to go ahead and we're going to let him at least consider playing in the majors. Our other issue is Noah Smith. And the window for him hitting the majors is probably next season. I don't think he's an opening day starter. Not when he only has 47 plate appearances above high A. I want at least a half season in double A before I even think about calling him up. I mean, he's better than Peguero in every way if he reaches his full potential. And we don't know that that's a guarantee. In terms of short-term upgrades, it's really hard to argue that there are any number of clear upgrades on the roster. One of those might well be Hudson Head. I know he had kind of a rough year in AAA, but it was his first speed bump in the minors. And I gotta put him on my 40-man or I lose him. And I'm certainly not gonna lose him. So let's make the first easy decision. No spring training. Welcome to the 40-man roster, Hudson Head. Why did I say roster? Roster. One thing a commenter suggested was trading Priester. Because, as the commenter adeptly pointed out, he has a very weak third pitch. And even if his changeup is fully developed, it's only ever going to be borderline. That is an extremely fair point. On the flip side, trading him... I'm confident that you don't need to go back to rookie ball. You can do low A. Zion Rose. Did you get a full year in double A? You got a pretty solid partial year. I'm going to promote you. Ornelas isn't locked, so I'll just let them do what they want. I'm going to keep you in double A for now. I am going to push you just because your isolated power shows that power was not your issue. You still managed well over 200, even if your contact wasn't as good. I mean, I guess there's some value, there is value to letting you just repeat the first initial part of double A, and then, or high A, no, double A actually, yeah, and then promote you to triple A if it seems sensible. So, easy choice, putting Hudson Head on the list, and then figure something out with right field next season. Maybe it is Mr. Smith here. Maybe it's Hudson Head. Maybe it's Tucker again for a partial season. Maybe it's trade Cole Tucker before he gets stupidly expensive. I don't know. But Priester represents an interesting dilemma. Velocity papers over a lot of problems. But my biggest concern with Mr. Priester and his development is this number right here. He is only last season in 2022 did he pitch over 100 innings. And that's not good. He's a decent stamina guy, but I'm concerned about his vulnerability to injury once his workload starts spiking. And I don't know what the AI has been doing with him in the minors, unless it's just been hilariously having him play third base for fun. Yeah, see, this is stupid. Why were you letting him play in the field this often? Oh, it's just his hitting as a pitcher. Okay, it's not him actually playing third base. He's not very good. But here is the rub. If I trade Priester, I have no high upside starting prospects. So if I were to trade him, I'd have to get at least one quality starting prospect in return, or failing that, sign a big deal in order to replace that talent. I'm not saying we can't do it. I'm saying that it does give me pause, whereas in a very strict and logical sense, I guess I shouldn't feel obligated to keep him on the roster or not trade him, but I do think Cole has to go. Well, I love his ability to play right field with some skill. His upside is fourth outfielder. And that is unfortunately a position that we are extremely well stocked in the Pittsburgh Pirates. All he does is draw walks and hit doubles. And if he's not doing either of those things at a high enough rate, the rest of the package isn't good enough. His power is not very exciting. You can argue, and you'd probably have a point, that I'm being overly harsh to a player who has, as of now, exactly one full season with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Granted. But I have a scout who specializes in ability. He specializes in telling me how good a player is right now, not so much how good he'll be in the future. And my scout doesn't think very highly of him. OSA thinks even worse. This is probably selling low, but I don't think selling high is an option with him. I don't think he'll ever get to high. So we're going to trade Cole Tucker. It'll free up the outfield logjam and give us some clarity as to who we'll play with next season. Maybe it'll be Smith, maybe it'll be Head, who knows. But I think it's the right call for right now. So let's see what I can acquire prospect-wise. Why can't I shop you? Oh, he's included another pending trade. That's right. I did offer him to somebody, didn't I? Then we shall await the results of said trade. All right. JT Brubaker. You are not an amazing starting pitcher, but I don't have much that's better, and you're surprisingly cheap. So I will give you what your heart desires. Aaron Savali is real pissed at me. That's whatever. Joey Lucchese. It's going to be go for Ball City with him. All he was a waiver claim. I'd kind of like to trade him and see if I can get something of value for him. But I'm telling you right now, I am not intrigued by his future as a Pittsburgh Pirate. Figures. I think even $2 million is too much for him. I really do. And he's not going to want a pay cut. I'm happily going to non-tender you a contract and pick up somebody in free agency. Blake Sutherland had a pretty solid season. He only wants $1 million in cash. He doesn't want to talk to me right now. Well, that's fine. Julian Fernandez. You were a train wreck. That is the kindest thing I can say about you, is that everything that could go wrong did go wrong for you. And I have so many minor leaguers that have your talent level or higher that I'm just going to go ahead and chalk you up as a bad job and non-tender you. Maybe I'll trade you, actually. And this is definitely selling low, but it's what it is. You're offering me nothing, so nothing is what I shall give him. Goodbye, Mr. Fernandez. Patrick Murphy had a very decent, if not overwhelming, season. I think that's worth another year. Buddy, I'm not giving you over $1 million. Bruce Maxwell is done. I don't have a use for him. Jorge Mateo is a utility infielder who sucks at defense and at offense. Can I sucker in somebody into offering me something for him? I hope I can. No. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and non-tender you. There's just no value in you right now. You offer literally none of the things that I want from a utility guy. You suck at defense, and you can't hit. You're a decent base runner, but I can't afford to waste a precious roster spot on a good base runner. So you go on. Offer Stephen Brault his $20 million is hilarious to me. How about no, Scott? Sean, I will offer you a minor league extension, and that's pretty much just you. All right. All right, fine. Oh, right, your issue. You're a corner outfielder who can only play the corner. I'm not saying that doesn't have value. I can't put him on the 40-man because I don't have an open spot. Here, you know what? Let's open that spot by just releasing Fernandez. I'll just... Yeah. There we go. I'm not saying Matthew Frazier is worth keeping, but I'm not saying he's not worth keeping either. I wonder if we'll get any awards this season. All right, we're very, very close. I wish you had an elite level pitching prospect, or at least a top level pitching prospect. Like, you would never give me Lucas Giolito. I'm not even going to ask about that. Or Joel Musgrove, or Chris Sale, or Thomas Schapucki. Yeah. If I offered you Quinn Priester, no, it's not worth it. I'd rather have the fifth round pick. There we go. All right, if it's not going to change things, I'm going to ask for the third round pick. And then I'm going to see how much more it's going to take to get over the top. No, that wasn't the job I wanted you for. What job did I want you for? Like, what job was I even picking you for? Oh, Rookie League pitching coach. Got it. I'll give you $120,000 a season. How's that sound? All right, you're really not asking for huge numbers necessarily in order to break this deadlock. But it's more than I'm willing to sacrifice, quite frankly. Let's go back down to the fourth. See, you're still wanting quality players to even get the 4th pick. I'm gonna separately trade Cole Tucker again and see if I can get something better that I don't have to bend over backwards to get value from. Matt Tabor is an interesting prospect. I'd like to mitigate the risk some. Ricky Vanasco's control isn't great, but if I can get him and Tabor, I would make this trade in a heartbeat. Because what it does is it mitigates my risk. The chances of one of them becoming like a megastar is obviously pretty low, but the chances of 2 of them becoming at least reasonable is, well, much more reasonable. Here he is. Maybe I should cast my sights a little bit higher. This seems like a team with a lot of starting pitching prospects. Like Alvaro here. I know you think we're not getting enough in return. But I don't think it would be easy or possible to get what he's actually probably worth in this climate. So I'm going to offer that trade as is, and we'll see if they take it. I'm going to take the deal. You're being a little bitch, Michael Joyce. But you're worth it. Again, you probably have the issue that I had with the other guy last time, which is that you're probably getting offers from a major league club, and I'm offering you a rookie job. 150 grand. 3 years. I'm going to need to make 40-man spots for each of those gentlemen if I wish to keep them. But I'm okay with that. Because we're about to get some freebies once people get non-tendered. James Marvel, you're not worth keeping. You're headed to assignment. You know what, Michael Joyce? I know what I'm fighting a losing battle. I'm never going to get you to sign because you're probably getting offers from major league teams. So I'm going to find a different pitching coach. There we go. Easy. Alamaeus won a Gold Glove as I predicted. I doubt I'll get any other award consideration, really. But maybe I will. I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you, mate. Rejected. Nah. I don't see the point in spending that much money. So I shall pass. One thing I wanted to take a moment to talk about because a commenter brought it up is this particular thing here. So what do I mean when I say ability, and what do we mean when we say tools? A player's ability is their actual ability to produce results on the field. Whereas tools are, this is what the player could look like at some point in the future. In a very real sense, we probably need a toolsier scout if we want to get better results in the draft. However, I want you to think of it this way. A scout looking for tools is looking for the best player in, say, 5 years. The scout who favors ability is looking for the best player in 2 or 3 years. Ability scouts look for high floors. Tool scouts look for high ceilings. And so even if my scout doesn't favor some of these players as highly as others might because he's not looking purely at tools, the players that he finds and recommends are more likely to succeed in the majors. Baseball history is littered with thousands of examples of toolsy players who hit the big leagues or never even make it to the big leagues, but if they do make it, they flop. By focusing on ability, we're making sure that our players have the ability to turn their tools into success. And that's why, even if it means drafts look less impressive to us, like we're not seeing megastars, it's worth it to have a scout like this in the short term, because he's such a great scout overall. He is more likely to give us scouts to players that are more likely to succeed, or at least give me the information to know whether someone's likely to succeed or not. That's why I'm not going pure tools. Ideally, I'd pick at least a neutral scout, but he's going to be more useful when we're trading for minor leaguers, when we're trading for major leaguers, and things like that. So, that's my understanding, or that's not my understanding, I know that's how it works. That's why I picked the scout that I did, because his overall ability is phenomenal. And this means that if he tells me someone is a superstar, I know he's a superstar. And I have a lot more confidence that player is going to succeed. Whereas a real toolsy guy might tell me, oh yes, this guy can hit 70 home runs in a season, and then he never makes it out of high A. So, he's also going to want college players over high school players. Again, the usual high floor versus high ceiling debate. So that's why he is our scout. He's overall a great scout, and I'm more than happy to let him have his shot to help us build this team the way that we did, the way that we could. What we can do is we can always ask OSA, and although OSA is less accurate than pretty much any decent scout, they give us a chance of what a player might be if everything breaks perfectly for them. So it is helpful to kind of compare the two, but when it comes to floor, I trust Dan Gaekler pretty closely. Yeah, James Marvel, back to the minors with you. All right, Quinn Priester. Let's deal with you. I could probably get a pretty big piece for him. A mid to high range starting prospect, perhaps. Another bat. I would even settle for another starting prospect with a different skill set. Maybe one with less stuff, but a better third pitch. Here's the flip side, though. If we keep Priester, give him a full season, see how he works out, we'll have a lot more information than we do right now. Is his current minor league track record enough to tell me that he will never succeed in the major leagues? Let's break this down in some detail. Please do not give me... I don't care about his high school numbers. Looks like he was almost exclusively a reliever in high school, which is kind of yikes. So, here's the problem. Consistently, he has allowed really high walk rates. And it's true that his control has gotten better. Actually, a lot better. But he gave up a lot of home... Well, it's one start. You can't really trust any numbers there. His latest numbers are actually starting to trend in favor of someone who's actually a decent pitcher. I am going to keep Priester for now, and I'm going to let him pitch the whole season in the majors, come hell or high water, and we're going to settle once and for all, is this a player that could be helpful to our future success? If we look at his FIP, he would have had a pretty decent ERA in 2022. So I think we give him his shot to prove that he can stay on the roster. And if he can't, he can't. And he's just as valuable next season. Wait, Luciano. Did somebody sign him? Oh no, Lucchese is the guy I was thinking of. Yeah. Geez, Dodgers. Really? Peguero didn't even get one vote? Alright. No, it's fine. I didn't want it anyway. I am skeptical about Priester, though. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to decide right now. Savali got a pretty big raise. I guess he deserves it, sort of. Alright, so here's what we are staring at in free agent terms. Oh, hello. How is he considered a compensation free agent when, like, you can't give draft picks to the KBO? If we had the money, I would buy the crap out of him right now, but I can't, so... You don't have any money for extensions because our overall budget is kind of restricted, and we're getting a lot of people demanding some pretty high salaries in the future. It's whatever. We need a veteran starter to anchor this staff. Somebody who's consistently been good in the past. I mean, Wallace, I'm happy to kick out of the rotation or give more opportunities to whatever. But something's got to give, and I think that's something... Use the rotation. Excuse me. Alright, I'm going to look at starters. And I think James Paxton is exactly the kind of starter that we should be going after. Although I could sign Jake Odorizzi for half the price. But he's like not even 10% the pitcher. He's sure suffered from injuries in the past. That's true. What is equally true is the fact that he would probably be the number 2 starter on this team. He only wants a 1-year contract. That's all he wants. And look, if he has a good season, I can flip him to a contender and grab some prospects out of it. And all it costs me is money. I agree. We do need a right fielder, so there's maybe some desire to get like a veteran stopgap. I mean, I'd love to get Jung-Ho Lee, but it's not going to happen. Like, I can't afford him. Not even a little bit. Interesting. You are a pretty decent 4th outfielder, I gotta say. I wonder why no one's ever given you a real chance in the majors. Did you just get non-tendered? Yeah, I will sign you to a 1-year deal for $1 million. Yeah. Why not, right? And then I'm going to let this market settle. And then maybe go from there. I'm telling you right now, if we had the money, I would sign Jung-Ho Lee so redonkulously fast. It wouldn't... This is a megastar, and I just don't have the budget. Which makes me incredibly sad, but it's the truth. Grandson of Wind is a fucking phenomenal nickname. I love it. I'm not giving you Nick Gonzalez for a bad reliever. I think you use a bit more seasoning. I'm also a little bit less sanguine about your chances of being an amazing major leaguer. I don't know. I'm not going to like knock him or anything like that, but I'd just like to see a little bit more from him before I promote him. All right, let us do the voting for the Hall of Fame. Bobby Abreu, yes. Carlos Beltran, yes. Adrian Beltre. If you don't think Adrian Beltre belongs in the Hall of Fame, I don't know what it's going to take to convince you who belongs, but... obviously Bartolo Colon deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. As does Todd Helton. I think Joe Mauer is pretty clearly a Hall of Famer. Because he was such a damn good catcher for so many years. He probably hung on a bit too long. And he certainly lost a lot of value when he shifted to first base. But I think Joe Mauer is definitely at least worthy of Hall of Fame consideration. I'm going to vote Manny. I know it's kind of a waste because I don't think he'll get in. But got to give some love to Scott Rowland. And I'm going to vote Gary Sheffield too. I think some of these aren't going to matter, but I'm going to try at least. See if they can get voted in. I'm going to bet right now that Beltran and Beltre both make it in, but nobody else does. But we can hope, right? Spencer Torkelson. That's a very silly name. Yeah, I'm not taking that deal. Why did I get flagged for this? Oh, you must have been someone I was thinking about drafting at one point. Wow, I'm glad I didn't. Yikes. Excellent news. Paxton seems intrigued. I can offer you opportunity. Alright. You want Boston's offer. How much is Boston offering you? They're offering you a lot more. However, critical thing to remember here. I can trade him. I've got money in the bank. There's no reason I shouldn't spend it. Especially if he can act to like help develop our other pitchers. You know what? If you really want to play for Boston that badly, I'm not going to stop you. No, what is it about me that you think screams, I want all of your crappy right fielders? How much is Boston offering you? $13 million? I'm not offering you that much. I know it's just money, but at a certain point, it's too much. And I still need money to sign draft picks and maybe make some deals. So I'm gonna wish you luck with Boston. Edwin Diaz came back from India and looks confused. That's what you want to see, right? I mean, he's a relief pitcher, so I hope he never spends any time in the batting cage. Right? That's just stupid. Alright, I need to do something to, like... I need to have my general manager start screening these calls, which is, if you're offering me a mediocre player, go away. I want, like, a screen calls button. Like, how about I give you my worst prospect and you give me Cabrian Hayes and all of your money? No. Okay, important. Rule 5. I have... Oh, I made the mistake. I looked at a retired player. Boop. Right. I have 4 spots on the 40-man. Anybody that I need to make sure that I keep. Maciel's better than Matthew Frazier. I can put him on the 40-man. I don't really care about him. I'm just not seeing a lot of players that I feel particularly forced to put on the 40-man. I could put Mears and Roberts there just because I can always use upgrades to the bullpen. But the bullpen as is actually pretty solid. Is either one of you a lefty? No. Look, I don't want to lose you. You know what? I'm gonna keep both of you, and then I can always trade you later. And this leaves me with one 40-man spot that I can use on someone in the Rule 5. It just depends on who is available. You're actually quite a good hitter, potentially. My problem with a lot of these players is I'd basically be having them ride the pine just so I could send them down the next season. Now, Levon Soto is definitely somebody I'd be interested in keeping for the simple fact that I do need a reliable utility guy. And I think you can fill that role quite expertly. If Yasel Antuna could play the field a little bit better, I'd probably take him, but I will go ahead and select Levon Soto. And then I'm out of 40-man spots, unless I want to free one up. I'm going to go ahead and waive Singer. I know he's the only lefty I've got. No, he's not. I have Blake Weeman if I need to call him up. Okay, until my next pick, please. Heck yes, I'll take Daniel Tilo. Why wouldn't I? Why is he even being exposed? I love how Julian Fernandez is also being offered. That's pretty funny to me. Yeah, why is he even on eligible? That's so silly. Like, I will happily try him out in any role where he can be of use to my team. That's not even up for debate. Wilson, I'm going to waive you. But in your case, unless I see someone amazing, I'm just going to leave your spot open. Logan Reinhart has probably earned a call up to the majors. And see what he can manage out of the pen. Yasel Antuna is so good. I could trade him. Maybe I've had enough. I've took 2 Rule 5 picks already. Maybe I'm okay with that. Why did the Padres leave him in AAA all season? He's a great player. And I'm not just saying that because he used to play for Cleveland, but... yeah, I don't get that one. Oh well. Alright, friends. Let us advance throughout the season. Oh, look, you both cleared waivers. I am utterly shocked that two terrible relievers missed out. Did Chicago get that right fielder? Stop offering me your absolute garbage. Oh, Forrester. You really like this offer? Like, May is a reliever. I've got loads of those. And Forrester's an intriguing prospect, but he's also incredibly raw. I tell you what, mate. Pass. I'm going to overrule my assistant GM on that one. I don't think it's worth it. I'm sorry that you were so beloved, Stephen Broll. You actually signed for relatively cheap. I probably could have re-signed you, but I didn't think about it. I wanted to get in on a free agent starter this offseason, but maybe not. This is a very important year for Mika Rodolfo. He's had 2 back-to-back seasons where he's been extremely productive. I've been very happy with him. But he's starting to ask for, like, megastar money. And I am not at all convinced that he deserves megastar money. I mean, maybe he does. But this is going to be a guy who's going to struggle to hit 250 most seasons. If he's hitting 30 home runs and drawing enough walks and doing all the other little things right, that's fine. I'm just not convinced that I'm willing to pay a premium to keep that. Garbage. Garbage. I'll tell you what I'll do. I am going to trade Triolo for the very simple fact that he's probably close to Major League ready, and I'm never going to play him in favor of Cabrian Harris. So I am going to shop you, and I'm just going to see what kind of prospects are available to me. It's mostly mediocre players. I gotta say, I'm not totally surprised. You're an excellent utility type. I have no objections to you whatsoever being on my team. Yeah, let's just make a straight up prospect for prospect trade. You don't like it, Charrington. What if I got them to throw in Drew Jones? They'll never do it. Yeah. It would have been funny if it had worked, though. So I was going to give it a shot. What is your obsession with Triolo? If I got this offer, no, you're a pretty raw reliever. So here's my issue. I don't know why he doesn't like it, my assistant GM. because I know that Trillo has the capability of probably being a better hitter, but he'll never stick at third base. He's already 25. Layer's also 25, but he's closer to being major league useful. So I'm just going to take this trade and just tell my assistant GM to put a sock in it. Nobody made it. I honestly can't say I'm shocked. I'm a little bit shocked that Adrian Beltre didn't make it. I mean, he's Adrian Beltre. But whatever. It is what it is. We'll see how things change. Just stop offering this stuff, friends. Stop offering me bad relievers. Okay, Paxton went to the Braves. You know what? He got about $13 million. It was more than I was willing to spend. And I mean, we've got a number of pitchers. I could probably use a decent lefty reliever. We've been kind of struggling with that. Aroldis Chapman, no. I would never spend that much money on him. Brad Hand, maybe. Amir Garrett, again, maybe. I think this is fine. I think he's what... Are any of my guys in the high minors lefties? Reinhardt isn't. Vanasco isn't. Rodriguez isn't. Cruz is. I mean, it's hard to argue what that one guy had that Cruz doesn't. Who do I currently have that's a lefty? Just Tilo. I don't know if I want him in the rotation. I think I want him to be a reliever. I can make him a reliever long man. That might make him happier. But yeah, you're just not a great fit as a starter in my opinion. Not on this roster. I know it's kind of like damning with faint praise, right? Choosing between the mediocrities that inhabit this roster, but it is what it is. I really wish there was a decent, cheap starting pitcher that was a significant upgrade over what I have now. And it might well be Odorizzi, right? Like, he does a lot of things extremely well. And it's only going to cost me $1.6 million. He wants a no trade clause, though, and that to me is an issue. See, I don't like this because basically means the player gets all the benefit and I get nothing. Yeah, I'm just gonna ignore. We're just gonna fly with the starters we have now until we can actually leverage what we've got for a better starter. Adolfo's probably too rich for our blood. I've got to be honest with you. I don't know that a 30 homer masher is a luxury that we can afford right now. But maybe it ends up happening. I don't know. But our owner is very tight-fisted. Very tight-fisted indeed. Piguero for a starter or a couple of prospects down the line is probably a smart trade. All right. I've got 40 people on the spring training roster. Let's start making some other promotions. Reinhardt, Vanasco, Gonzalez, Blaze Jordan, Noah Smith, Solomon. If you could even remotely handle center field, I'd probably think about promoting you. I probably need to get you to start playing in the corners. Just see what you can do. And I think that's fine for now. I'm not gonna put too many people. Bench coach. Do the thing. Do all of the things. Why, game? Why? Why do you look at a player with no freaking durability and decide to make him a starter? You know what? If you can handle it, I will convert you into being a starter. I think it's silly, but maybe it's for the best. I don't even know, dudes. I don't even know. All right. Next month. I'm hoping this goes without saying, but I'm dubious about us making the playoffs this season, but maybe I shouldn't be. It's such a weak division. All we need is a couple of unexpected breakouts, and I think we can be in the thick of it. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I'm not being fair to my own team to expect a playoff push. I didn't know that Noah Smith was hurt, so that's kind of yikes. Brian Hayes is going to be the next Andrew McCutcheon, isn't he? Where he stays with the Pirates forever, and he's just wasted. Some fairly minor changes. Priester's getting better at movement. Keller's getting better. Savali's getting a little better. Andy Rodriguez improved. Not by leaps and bounds, but he did improve. I kind of like Brown and Koch for another season as a pair and then see what happens. Alright, so first things first, let's start reducing the number of players that we have. We have 21 pitchers, I only need 13. Avila, I'm putting you back on the 60-day DL. Do I give you a shot in the majors as a starting pitcher? Or do I send you to the minors to figure out if you can start? You've got so much upside that, frankly, it's worth giving it a try. You know what? I think I'm going to make you, unless someone else would be better at it. Oh, Jacob Wallace is literally the same thing. Yeah, I will happily give you a shot in the rotation to see if you can stick, and then Wallace can be the long man. I'm going to try to trade Brubaker. No? Alright. That's fair. What the hell happened to you? Okay, well that was a waste of a Rule 5 draft pick. Enjoy him, Colorado. I'm not keeping him. Here we go. Finasco to the minors. Vyman to the minors. I'm going to need to sign a lefty. Which is fine. I have almost too many good relief pitchers. I don't even know what to do with them all. You're going to the minors. Murphy's too useful to be sent down to the minors. I'm not sending him down. Mears, Guerrero, Roberts. I'll probably check the waiver wire, actually. And let's just try to get the best guy that we can. I'm going to go and waive Brubaker. Alright. Easy choices. Blaze to the minors and Noah Smith to the minors. Ornelas, I want you to play in AAA. McGuire, I want you back in the minors. Frazier to the minors. Outman, I would like you to stay in the majors because you actually had a pretty darn good season. If I use you right, I think you could be quite handy. I'm going to move Adolfo to right field. Just because Hudson Head is an amazing left fielder. Maciel, I think, is going to... No, Gorski. The only thing Gorski has going for him is the fact he's a decent hitter and base runner. He kind of struggled in his minor league debut. Can I trade you for someone else? That's maybe a bit less shit. I'm getting some decent offers here. Will Klein is a starter. Nick Schnell. I don't really need someone with that level right now. But I'm very tempted by Will Klein. There were a couple other 50s, weren't there? No. Give me Will Klein. We'll make him into a starter and see how he handles it. I could ask them for more, but they probably won't give me more. Is the thing. And they're already giving me a pretty damn good prospect, right? You wouldn't give me Miguel Vargas, would you? I will happily give you crappy McReliever from Miguel Vargas. And there's a very clear and there's a very simple reason for that. Vargas is actually a really good first baseman. So I have no issues whatsoever with giving him a shot. Smith, you hardly dominated at AAA. I think another season in AAA could do you a world of good. That gives me 5 outfielders, which is all they really need. Infield, Gonzalez to the minors, Castro to the minors, Bay to the minors, Baker to the minors, and Martin to the minors. So again, the objective with this roster at the moment is going to simply... Oh, I don't need Andy Rodriguez yet. Give me... Castro? Togley is a switch hitter who does excellent against either side of the plate, so I don't need a platoon guy for him. Hudson's excellent against either side. Swaggerty is a perfectly fine center fielder. No. I am thinking about a deal for you, but I think this is way too rich. I would need one more season out of you at the major league level before I'd consider giving you a deal that big. No, Nick Gonzalez still has way too much to prove to get called back up yet. I need one more position player, ideally someone who can handle third. Or at least not embarrass themselves at third. So I guess Castro can fill that role for now. And then we're deliberately leaving a spot open to claim a left-handed reliever. Did any minor leaguers make the roster out of spring training? It doesn't look like it. Oh, sure enough, Priester's got to be on the 40-man. There we go. All right. I am not at all certain. Checking the waiver wire. I could bring Lucchese back. Tucker Davidson. Thing is, all these guys are actually like borderline starters. Here we... Ooh. I'm not taking a contract that big. Here we go. Filter. Throws is left. And position is reliever. Yeah, give me Tucker Davidson. All right. So let us start building out our roster. Clear it all, please. 5-man. Pitching ratings. Mitch Keller. I mean, I could also call him Killer if I wanted to, but Mitch Keller, obviously the ace. Then Aaron Savali. Then Eddie Yean. Quinn Priester. I just like Wallace better than Bolton. Like, I know Bolton's got better stamina, but Wallace, it looks like he's the better pitcher. Alright. Closer's going to be Edwin Diaz, I guess. Durbin Feltman can be the #1 setup guy. Sutherland can be #2. Patrick Murphy's going to be emergency long. Bolton will be long emergency. Rodriguez medium. And Rodriguez medium. That's easy to remember. Lineups. Get your lineups, yeah. Alright, game. This is incredibly important to me that you stop trying to make him a two-way player. I don't want him there. Okay, so I want batting ratings. The best hitter on the team remains Ke'Bryan Hayes. That's an easy choice. Then it gets super hard. I'll be honest with you, it gets really hard. Like, I guess Waggerty's the best choice for a 1 or 2 hitter. We'll make him lead off, I think. Then Peguero hitting second. Adolfo hitting cleanup. Toglia hitting 5th. Hudson Head batting 6th. Logan Brown is a pretty decent hitting catcher. So he can bat 7th, and then Alameus can come in and bat 8th. I like it. I think this is a very reasonable lineup. It's not a great lineup, obviously, but it's a really solid one that's got a lot of depth to it. Paste and paste. You can do your thing here, Mr. Glenn. And here. All right. I think we'll claim ourselves a reliever off the waiver wire. Could you please just loosen those purse strings just a tiny bit? Just a little bit? Just a little bit? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how the season's going to go. An awful lot is being asked of some awfully young players to show that they can deliver. And there's more youngsters on the way. I really don't think this team's going to be consistently competitive until Noah Smith is our starting shortstop. He has so much right now that we don't have on the team that if he had had 200 at-bats of experience in Double-A, just 200 at-bats, I would have very seriously considered promoting him this year. Just because I think he's that important. We need a contact hitter who can get on base, who can act as a spark plug, and let the rest of the lineup flow through him. I have lots of hope for Hudson Head, though. He seems like a really strong overall left field prospect, and I know he barely touched AAA, but he basically had unmatched success in the high minors. So I'm not upset at all about him starting for us. Yeah. As long as Adolfo can put up another 2022, I think we'll be in decent shape. I'm not looking forward to the Swaggerty decision, to be honest with you. I feel like he's the kind of person that a second division team would overpay for, and I don't want to be that guy. That's not a mistake I want to make, because he does a lot of things very well. He's a good center fielder that gets on base and hits doubles. And he'll probably hit 260 to 270 in a given season. That's super valuable, obviously. But it's not multi-million dollars a year useful. Or maybe it is. Because here's the thing here. Mr. Swaggerty's kind of got us over a barrel. And that I don't really have another center fielder. His contract demands are getting more reasonable. I'll tell you what, Mr. Swaggerty. How's that? I think this is extremely reasonable for a player of his caliber. He's not asking for $13 million a year anymore. I'm going to buy cheap while I can. That still might prove to be a mistake, but it's not likely to be. And the next great center fielder isn't in this organization right now. So, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys are still enjoying. Again, fingers crossed, Monday. They say they fixed the promotion bug, so we're going to do another 2 or 3 history on Monday. And back with more Pittsburgh Pirates action next Friday. Until then, though, this has been Evindian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.